It's wild because I've been skateboarding for 20 plus years now and skating mega ramps. I was with Nitro Circus. 2012 was my first ever tour, and so getting ready to go down the big ramps, it doesn't scare me as much as it used to. I think because we continue to do it so often, it's like the more you do something, the more aware you are, the more relationship you have with it. Like obviously the first time, I'll never forget my first time dropping in a vert ramp. I stood up there for 2.5, 3 hours before I actually tried it. But now it's like, it's kind of second nature. And as soon as I know, like even when I am a little scared or nervous, I know as soon as I roll over the first initial part of the roll in, instinct's gonna kick in and then I'm locked in and ready to go. So it's more thinking about what I wanna do in the air and then letting instinct take over and know that I'm gonna make it off the ramp. But yeah, so I definitely get nervous if I'm trying a new trick or if I haven't skated a mega ramp, giganto ramp in a long time. There's always that first nerve jump, but I try and just get up there as fast as I can and like, all right, here we go. Board feels good, ramp looks good, get down it. I try and not think about it too much and just, yeah, again, let that instinct take over. Yeah, skateboarding is progressing faster than I think any sport. If you go to the skate parks today and you see the average skater, the tricks they're doing, they would have been pro 10, 15 years ago. And it's wild just to see that the level as a whole has risen so much. And so to stay consistently progressing and as a pro, you have to be hungry for it. And so I find any time that I'm on my board, whether it's a massive mega ramp, my mini ramp in the backyard, or even finding a little street ledge or spot, I just want to try and push myself and do something that maybe I've never done before or that is a little challenge to me. So maybe it's a little technical grind on a 2-foot curb, or maybe it's this world's first brand new trick, but either way, it's fun to stoke that passion in different environments because getting better at the street stuff absolutely helps me in my mega ramp skating, in my vert skating, and it all just helps you become a better skater. Skateboarding is so inconsistent. It's actually really difficult, and I honestly think it's the hardest of all action sports. Dirt bikes, you got a motor and you got a throttle. BMX, you got handlebars. I might get some hate on this one, but really it's a little bit easier and more consistent. But skateboarding is so finicky. Your board not only goes forward and backward, it also goes left and right. You have the trucks moving in a way, the board moving in a way, the wheels moving in a way. So everything is kind of working itself and you have to find the harmony within it. And so it's wild to go through times of having a session and knowing, man, I might not land the trick I want to do today, but having the willpower and fortitude and mindset to go after it with all that you got. And then the moment that you do, if you're filming a video part or working on this trick that's never been done, and the moment you finally land it, that feeling is unlike anything else because you're taking something, an idea that you had in your mind, not sure if it was fully possible, and then all of a sudden it came together. Every moment that you walked up the stairs or set your board up to get ready and go was all worth it, no matter how many times, if it took you 10 times, 15 times, hundreds of times, thousands of days. There's been tricks that have taken me so long to do. But the moment you land, it's like all that goes out the way and you're just feeling this euphoric sense of accomplishment and like, whoa, this actually happened. And again, that's what just continues to drive skateboarding, and the passion in skating is that there's always a new trick to go after and you're not fully 100% sure. You know in your mind it's possible, but you haven't felt it in reality yet. And so you're bridging that gap of what can be and what is, and you make it happen in a moment. And it's unlike anything else. Health is wealth. I absolutely believe that 100%. If I feel healthy and I'm taking care of myself, it's gonna show up in my skating, it's gonna show up in my relationships, it's gonna show up in every area of my life. But we have to take advantage of that and honor our body. Our body is the temple. And it's funny, when I was younger growing up, I would go to Taco Bell after the skate park. I had no idea that it was bad for me. I grew up in the South in Tennessee, and we eat whatever down there. We don't care how it was processed, what it was. We just want it deep fried and hopefully not alive. And so when it comes to now, looking into my 30s and wanting longevity to be it's a real goal of mine, is how long can I do what I'm doing at a high level? It's all about my health, and if I feel good, I'm gonna be able to perform well. And so really just being intentional about clean eating, minimal processed foods, making sure to stay hydrated, good electrolytes, and everything really comes down to minerals. And I always say it like this: in the food industry, it's such a hoax because they've replaced our minerals with chemicals, and it confuses our body, right? If we confuse our body, it doesn't know how to digest these things. We're gonna have poor output, low energy levels, but really being intentional about what we're putting in. So I'm really intentional with the products that I use, and one of the new products that I am stoked to be representing now, we have Heart and Soil. They are grass-fed, grass-finished, all pure beef organs. They have a few different supplements and a few different variations, so you can kind of go with your body and see what's going to work for you, how much you need to take of each, and check them out. They're pretty incredible. Heart and Soil, they are founded by the legend Dr. Paul Saladino, and yeah, it's really been a game changer for just overall health and vitality, and really longevity and recovery in skateboarding and whatever you're doing. If you just want a good healthy life, then support yourself by supporting products that are going to support you. Honestly, more than I probably admit. Even my wife tells me, like when I go see the doctor and we check in on stuff and she realizes how limited certain places are, she's like, whoa, like you actually are in pain all the time. And unfortunately, that's with the territory. I mean, skateboarding, you're falling on concrete for 20 plus years, every single day slamming on concrete. So your joints are just getting hammered, and it's wild, but how do you manage through that? And it's really just not allowing the pain to limit. And so figuring out ways and different modalities, like I really try and take care of myself. You know, we do the sauna and ice bath protocols at the house. We're blessed and fortunate to have a sauna and cold plunge at the house. And then also getting great care, chiropractic work, working with different holistic doctors that know these different modalities, and also some of the new technologies that are out there like shockwave treatment and all these different things that are really, I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to learn and see like, okay, how can I get the most out of my body, different peptide treatments and things like that. There's so much benefit out there, but it's work. You have to work at it, you have to learn at it, and there's certain things that are gonna be, everyone's different as well. So there's certain things that are gonna work for me that might not work for you. And I've had to learn different protocols, like how long do I sauna, how long do I ice to get the maximum benefit for me. Sometimes it might be a little less in the ice, sometimes it might be a little more in the heat. Some people might need a little bit more protein, some people might need a little more minerals. Like we're all trying to figure out what we're lacking and where we're missing. And so I think if we can just be more aware and intentional with understanding our relationship with health, it's going to give us the benefit to be able to go out. And you know, some days I'm great at it, I'm on it, I'm sleeping well, I'm resting well, I'm recovering, I'm taking care of myself. Other days I might slack, and then I have to make up for it. And so I think it's just being aware, looking for just getting a little bit better each and every day, and find out what works for you. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, we can figure it out and find ways to thrive, even in the midst of an environment like skateboarding where you're constantly pounding your body or there's toxins all over the world. How are we able to mitigate those the best so we can still function at a high frequency? If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to this channel, then you are absolutely missing out on saving money. We have product discounts on all my sponsors and also discounts on Nitro Circus tickets as well as skate gear. So smash that subscribe button, follow everything we're doing, and be encouraged to keep sending it. I think I definitely know it's from skating, not being in my 30s. I mean, I think age has to do with it, but shoot, I probably shouldn't feel the way I feel, and I've, you know, had MRIs and x-rays that look like my bones and blood and tissue are kind of like a 70-year-old. So put the body through a lot, but also I think that helps me mentally stay sharp. And you know, it's wild to think about being a pro skater. I was at this contest this summer, and there were like, the majority of the crew was in, you know, their teens to 20. There was barely anyone actually in their 20s, and maybe 3 of us in our 30s. And it was like, whoa, now I'm all of a sudden the old guy out here, but still being in it is pretty wild. But it just goes to show, like, if you take care of yourself, if you work hard, the 3 of us that were in our 30s all take care of ourselves really well. And it's because of the love we have for what we do. You know, I don't want to let my passion for skating fade because I was neglecting my health. If I can stay healthy, I can stay skating. And so that's kind of enough motivation for me to stay on it and really be diligent with my training, with my eating, with my nutrition and recovery, is the love I have for skateboarding. All right, if you are in your 30s, you owe it to yourself to honor yourself. The body is the temple, and I want to encourage you to do this. Sleep well, eat well, and live well. make sure you're sleeping, get enough rest, turn the phone off before bed, first thing in the morning, get outside, go look at the sunshine, and get on a nature walk. That goes to living well, move well, do something, activate, get your heart rate up, get moving, get your blood pumping, get sweating. Sweating every day, I think, is a benefit and helps you continue to endure, and it just flushes the muscles from the inside out. And then also, eat well. We've got to eat well. We got to eat so much better. Honestly, food is medicine. It's there to help fill us and sustain us. And if our body can't process the food, we're going to be working overtime, and that's going to lower our energy levels. So eat clean, eat nutrient-dense, mineral-rich food, and I think you'll be able to thrive not only in your 30s, but really for your entire life. Life is a gift, and if we honor that gift, it's going to honor us back with blessing and opportunity. So a trick that took me a long time to master, that it's wild, if you flip on any video or contest, you're gonna see this trick in the run. So it's kind of a staple in professional skateboarding. But the 540 took me a long time to figure out. And once I figured it out, it took me so long to get it consistent. Honestly, there were times when I was skating that I couldn't do a 540 if you just told me to go do it, but if a contest was happening, I would land a 540. It was crazy. Like, I would only do it in the contest, and it would be so sketchy. I was that dude that was either make it or absolutely slam. And there's footage of me at the Combi Bowl at Tampa just getting bodied, but then getting back up and making it in one of my runs. And it's wild that it took that long, but it was kind of one of those tricks because I didn't have it so consistent at first. I felt intimidated, or like, was I really meant to be at these events if I couldn't quite do a trick that was so necessary in a run? But I think that's something you just have to continue to work through and figure out the skill and work at it. And the more you do something, the kind of easier, not necessarily easier, but more comfortable you get with it. So that's with anything in life. So if there's things that you feel limited by, dig into them, keep trying them, keep failing at them, and eventually you're going to overcome and build some consistency. Honestly, the hardest part about landing any skateboarding trick is landing the trick. We can throw tricks all day long, but actually getting the landing right. And so for me with the 540, it was just not really being in the right position to land. It was like I would start it well, but there was a point where you're going into landing it and I would be too far over the deck. And that's what got really sketchy, was because a few times I would hang up on it and I wasn't really aware enough to know that I needed to pop out more, or probably a good enough skater at the time to know how to pop out more. But eventually, again, through repetition, figured out how I needed to be a little more patient with it, throw it and do it well and do it right. Man, being a kid, being a Grom and skating every single day, I remember, the goal was to see how long you could let your deck last or a pair of shoes last. And one of the ones for me that I learned was using like the really tiny, intricate super glue and putting that on the stitching of your shoe was a game changer. But I remember, because I skate regular, I had this pair of shoes and I probably had 10 pairs of the same shoes, but they all had the same hole on the whole left side of the shoe. And all the right ones were pretty perfect because I didn't skate a lot of switch back then. But yeah, there was like a hole from like here all the way up to the toe on those shoes, and it was wild just seeing how haggard and ripped up they would get, and then onto the next pair. But yeah, it's wild how now I'm blessed to be able to have as many skateboards as I want, but back then it's like you'd get a chip and you'd be like, oh, can I glue it back together? What can I do to fill it? And try and make that thing last as long as possible. Yeah, mega skate hacks, you have to have duct tape on deck, because if you do one run on the mega ramp, you're knee sliding for like 60 or 70 feet. Your shoelaces are going to be gone. It's not a matter if, it's when. It's like one bail, shoelaces are gone. So duct tape helps mitigate that. We pretty much retape about every seven or 8 jumps on a session if we keep bailing. So the goal is not to bail. You could wear your brand new shoes all day long, but the reality is you're falling a lot more than you're landing. I don't really get the social anxiety, but like going to a new park, it's like I always feel that there's almost like an unspoken pressure to have to do a backflip or have to perform. It's like hard to go to a park where there's a lot of kids and they know who you are and actually just have a mellow session. It's like all the time. And it's like you want to respect the kids too. And like, I mean, I remember when I was a kid and I would see like the best skater in the town or a pro show up. It's like, yeah, you want to see what they got. So it's kind of like I know going in, if I'm going to a skate park, at some point I'm going to have to put it on. I will say sometimes I do go to the park without my Nitro helmet on just so I can maybe slide under the radar or something a little bit, try something that, I wouldn't mind looking like a fool a little bit trying, but it's all fun, and I love just getting to meet people, and skate parks are really just community hubs where you get to meet people, and you have to be vulnerable because at some point in every skate session, you're gonna look like you might not know what you're doing. Whether you're trying a gnarly trick or you just hit a stop rock, like you're gonna probably fall down. And I think it's a humbling experience going to the skate park, and it's a cool experience that I think puts you out of the comfort zone because you're in a vulnerable spot and you're on the ground and you're getting back up, but it's all based around community and builds great relationships. All right, so this was fun, answering some fresh questions and giving a little more insight into the mind of what goes on in the life, liberty, and pursuit of radness of what I'm going for. So thank you guys for checking this out. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and drop in your comments maybe what resonated with you or what different things you have or even more questions, and then we'll answer those in the next video.